Right, hello and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to today's video. So today is obviously never a video that I wanted to film, and I think I am about ready to talk about it. I went to do it a couple of weeks ago but looked through all the photos and videos and it upset me quite a bit, to be fair. So I've come back a couple of weeks later and I'm really sorry, the dog is in the background, you can probably just see him there. If he gets too much, I will have to put him in the kitchen, but for now, he is sat in here with me. But yeah, 2020, Rusty, you need to be quiet, sit down. You can't be on top of me, I know, you're lovely, but we're trying to film a not very nice video, and you're being a pain. No, you stay there. No, otherwise you have to go out. No. Are you going to behave? I'm really sorry if you can hear him. But yeah, 2024 really wasn't our year with horses. We had a really bad year, mainly a really hard December. But there was something else that happened in summer. Luckily, it didn't turn out as badly as it could have. But yeah, I'm really sorry. I feel like you're ruining the... This is meant to be a not very nice video and you're just there like, hi guys, get off the mic. They don't want to hear you sniffing in the mic. But yeah, just to put you in the picture, obviously this video isn't really about Cara, but in summer, Cara had a spout of, it really wasn't very nice. It was quite mild colic symptoms, and it was related to colic but not directly colic, I think. I hope I'm wording this right. Rusty, you're really ruining this video. You're lovely, I love you very much, but this is too much. And she was in great discomfort. It turned out her gut and her small intestine, I think it was very inflamed, and she had to stay in at hospital for 5 days. And yeah, her symptoms were horrible. She was out in the field and we noticed she was going down quite a lot, and then it got to the point where she was going down more than she was up. We brought her into the stable, and any of you that know Cara knows that she hates being in the stable. She lives out 24/7 because in the stable she weaves, she box walks, she makes herself sweat to the point where it's like white foam. She really doesn't like the stable, but in the stable this time she was just lying down the whole time, so obviously we knew that she was seriously ill, which we knew anyway. But so yeah, and then she went into hospital and it really wasn't looking good. We were asked on, I think, the 3rd day, if it gets worse in the night, whether we would pay for colic surgery, which you were looking at serious money, or we would put her to sleep. And for us, I think the only option was to put her to sleep, with her being... How old is she now? She'll be 16, I think, this year. And not really having a job other than being a broodmare. We couldn't really justify spending the crazy amount of money that it would have been for colic surgery. She's lived a good life with us. So yeah, it was a really hard decision, and luckily it didn't come to actually making it. Absolutely not, no. Yeah, it didn't come to actually making it, so we were very lucky that she pulled through and was fine. Unfortunately, we never got to the bottom of what exactly it was. But she's fine now, and I'm going to do an update on her because there is some exciting news about her actually. But yeah, I'm going to move on from Cara. This video isn't about Cara, but I thought I would just put you in the picture a bit because... yeah, a lot of bad stuff with the horses has gone on this year. There's also been a lot of issues, minor issues, with Phoenix and her feet. And I feel like someone else I don't know, I can't remember. But we've had quite a few little to-dos this year. Can you get off the mic, please? Because all they're going to hear is you in your fur. And yeah, so let's get into the sad news that I've got for you. Right, so back to the start of December. We noticed that Ferrero had lost a bit of weight to quite an unhealthy point. Obviously, we noticed before she got to that point, but we had a vet involved and were told not to worry too much because she'd not long been weaned, and she came and stayed in and we kept an eye on her. And I'm not going to go into loads of detail of what happened, but she basically deteriorated, and there was one morning, we'd spent about 2 weeks prior to this, she used to get down on the floor and couldn't get herself back up. So we'd spent about 2 weeks prior to this, well, maybe less than 2 weeks, probably more like 10 days a week, but getting up every 2 hours in the night, in the day, and 3 of us hauling her back up. And then I went down there one morning, probably mid-December now we're talking, and she had fallen over into this big, it was like a massive black bucket thing that we used to pick fresh grass for her. And she used to eat that because we were struggling to get her to eat. But she used to like that. And she'd completely fell into the bucket, collapsed into the bucket, completely broke the bucket, was stuck in the bucket. And I said to my mum that morning that I think it is time that we make a decision on her. We're really lucky. We work with a really good vet now. He came out on his day off and said, sadly, we have no choice. He checked all her vitals and she was going to go into organ failure. So yeah, we had to have her put down that morning, and that was really sad. Me and my mum were there to watch it all and be with her and cuddle her while it happened. And then we had to deal with the carcass, which really wasn't nice either. This was about a month ago now. I was really upset at the time, but yeah. And then, sorry, Rusty's just really taking the limelight here, aren't you? This video is not about you at all, is it? This is like me and Rusty, whenever we're at home, he just like sits on top of me. There we go, he's interested in something else now. So yeah, and then probably about a week later, we then noticed that Echo was losing weight as well, which came as a bit of a shock because Ferrero was always weak. From the day she was born, me and my mum had to get her up about an hour after she was born because she wasn't interested in getting up. We've had to get her up out the field before because she just didn't want to get up. So she's always been a weak one. So obviously it came as a shock what happened with her, but out of all of them, if it was going to happen to anyone in our eyes, it would have been her. As awful as it sounds, and it's a horrible thing to say, but obviously foals are so much weaker than a horse anyway, and especially with how weak she was compared to Fern, who is Miss Sassy Pants. She is a nightmare now. Yeah, we not expected it because we never would have expected that, but if it was going to happen to anyone, we thought it would be her. I don't know how this sounds awful, doesn't it? But it came as a real shock that a week later Echo fell ill. She literally had the exact same symptoms. She lost weight, and she's obviously a yearling, so we kind of, yeah, it came as a real shock because Echo was a real strong filly. She was obviously, yeah, she was a yearling. She would have been 2 this year. But yeah, she was a really strong filly. She was a really big, strong filly. So it really came as a shock, and we obviously monitored her just to make sure we were right and we weren't being paranoid, but she was definitely getting ill as well, and she actually went into the vets. I'm so sorry if you can hear Rusty. He's just like running around jingling because he's got one of them dangly things on his collar. You're really ruining this video, Rusty, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, so she went into hospital the day before Christmas Eve, I believe. Well, no, it would have been before that because we went away and she was there while we were away. We were only away locally. We wouldn't have gone far when we had one in that situation. But so yeah, and the vets were convinced that she was going to come home. They said themselves that she's really strong, and if anything's going to get through it, it would be her. And she was coming home, funnily enough. Christmas Eve, I think it was, that they told us that we could go and get her. It wasn't finalised, but it was pretty much going to happen. And then they decided they were going to keep her in just over Christmas, just to monitor and make sure. And yeah, then we got a call on Boxing Day to say that she had got worse. And then the day after Boxing Day, the vet rang us and said basically that she was going to make the decision for us. She was down on the floor and couldn't even pick her head up. And obviously we would have made that decision anyway at that point because it's a welfare thing. You can't leave a horse like that. She was clearly suffering by that point. So as soon as we heard that, obviously we agreed with the vet and said, yes, it is about time. It is about time. That sounds awful. Like, yes, it's come to the time, I think, for her. Which is awful. It was, yeah, I don't think it really hit me like it hit my mum with Echo, because I obviously wasn't there to witness it. The vets told us they would give her lots of cuddles, bless her. She had lots of carrots, but they didn't want us to go up there because we'd obviously been through it once with Ferrero. And we hadn't seen her in a week, which half of me feels guilty for. Like, could I have given her a bigger cuddle before I left? Or, yeah, so we hadn't seen her in a week, and she needed putting down there and then, to be honest. She didn't need to suffer any longer. So she was put down, yeah, the day after Boxing Day. So, yeah, we've lost 2 horses in the space of a month. I'm not going to go into detail of what it was, what caused it and all that, because, to be honest, we're still sorting it out now. We did have it looked into afterwards so that we can make sure none of our other stock get it, because it clearly hits young stock, and we've obviously still got Fern and Elle, Fern the foal and Elle. Oh no, Fern will technically be a yearling now and Elle will be a 2-year-old technically, but so yeah, it's all being looked into. We are getting to the bottom of it. I'm not going to share it on here because I don't feel the need to be honest. But you can know that it's all under control, and hopefully we won't have any more situations like this. It's really hard because obviously anybody that breeds horses, this is kind of part of it, as horrible as it is to say. They are so weak when they're young, so all the big studs and everything, if you're, yeah, just it kind of is part of it, but it's always still horrible, isn't it? There's no two ways about that. But yeah, I think the part that upsets me the most about it is how young they were. And like, I suppose it was different with Ferrero because she was a foal and you spend lots of time with foals. And we did really get to know her as a person. But I feel really, don't know whether it's guilt or just upset that I didn't really spend that much time with Echo. Like, I don't feel like she's had a nice life, I can't say that, but she's never had, like, I don't know, she's not really experienced life. She's not, like, she's had that love from us, but not really, because obviously we bought her as a 7-month-old and had her through her yearling year, and most of that time she's just been chucked out in a field because, well, that is what you tend to do with young horses. And we didn't have her as a foal, so I don't know, like, I just feel bad that she never got the attention that obviously our older horses and the foals get because they need it. She's just been chucked out in a field while she's been with us pretty much, apart from last winter when we had her in the stables at the old house. And we did spend quite a lot of time with her, to be fair, but I think because she's been chucked out for the last year, I feel bad that she didn't get to experience as much that, like, love from a human. I don't know, it might sound stupid, but yeah, and it just makes me really sad that Ferrero lived for 7 or 8 months, and obviously Echo lived for 1.5 years. So yeah, it's just really upsetting, but I don't really know what else to say. I'm gonna play you some clips of them. Again, I'm sorry that there will be a lot more of Ferrero, just because she was our first homebred. I have loads of pictures and videos of her, and not so much of Echo because, again, she's just been chucked out in a field. It's awful, like, it's not nice, but I'm gonna let you watch them videos.
Rewind the tape and just play me those memories. You're leaning into me and I'm holding on to your shoulder. Where did that go? Oh, I hope we don't give in. It would never be the same. It's like you're gone when you're still here. Will I lose? Oh, I don't wanna lose you. Oh, I don't wanna lose you. This old apartment, I swear it feels smaller. There's nowhere to breathe. We don't look at each other. We don't. So I just go. And we should be talking, not hiding the problem. Open a bottle and don't go to bed till the sun goes up. Till the sun goes up. Oh, I hope we don't give in. It would never be the same. It's like you're gone when you're still here. Will I lose? Oh, I hope you don't give in. I just want you here with me. Is there something I can say? Will I lose? Oh, I don't wanna lose you. I just don't want